Into caution, hairpin left, opens 40. Crest into left 3 long.
Hello and welcome to Powers' Garage, a totally original name that has not been multiple uses on the interwebs. No one like Cone Dodger. I'll start off with the first thing that I know Cone and other people we can game if you want to, and is the jealousy of the current setup. This is why I live at home, is because 2-post lift, 4-post lift, which currently holds both of my vehicles, so there's good reason to have them, especially as maybe I'll show better detail later, the oil stains underneath my Cherokee, which I just drained the oil from. So I just wanted to do like a little overview of what work I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to try to record as much of it as possible, both for me and try to put some of it out just for the heck of it, because I feel like doing it. So basically what I have to do with the Cherokee is I had an issue with it leaking oil real bad, and I traced it down to a oil filter adapter, that a 90-degree elbow that comes off the engine block for the oil filter, and there's a seal in the bolt that holds it in place, and that seal had blown out. So I replaced that, and then about a week later, after doing some like heavier driving than just driving back and forward to work, it started leaking just as bad. And after reading online a bit, it seems like it's possibly a pressure relief valve that's apparently attached to the pump. And once that kind of gets stuck, it overpressurized the system and blew out the seal. It's a possibility. That's what I'm hoping for. So I am going to replace the oil pump. And while I have the pan down, I'm going to replace the rear main seal. And I'm also going to have to replace that O-ring that I blew out on the adapter. Now, the other project I have is Willys, which technically is running, but it's been leaking transfer case fluid pretty bad lately, and on top of that, the transfer case and transmission are linked together, so they're bolted actually directly to each other, and they share fluid through a passageway. So some of my transmission fluid is going out into the transfer case. I'm sure there's a safeguard to keep it from going too much into the transfer case if your transfer case goes bad, so that way at least your transmission can still function. But I wanted to play it safe and fix it. So what I'm going to do, hopefully today, is drop the drive shafts and maybe do a little more work. But that's what I'm hoping to accomplish today. And I'm going to plan on, once I drop out the drive shafts, I'm going to take out the transfer case and completely rebuild it, all the seals, everything, go through it, and give it a once-over, make sure I didn't do any damage by driving it around. I doubt I did, but just to make sure. So I probably switched to a little bit of GoPro footage of me doing some work on these, and we'll see where it goes from there. Alright. Before I start doing any work, I wanted to kind of just give you a little bit of a look into what I had going on. So, as you can probably tell, everything is pretty well saturated and well lubricated. As I move up here and get a little bit closer to the area of concern, you can see, let me get down a little bit lower here. Oil on the transmission, on the bell housing, all over the upper control arm over there. Let's rotate over. Let's see, starter completely soaked. This side transmission, much wetter. That's I believe that is the breather for the transmission, that little line there. And if you look up on the up there in between, just past the starter, you can see the oil filter, which is also soaked. And you can see that's on this like little 90-degree. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Alright, so you can kind of see that little Torx bit, my bane of my existence there. And that's where the leak was coming from before, and I'm 99% certain that's where the leak is again. And since that's a matter of just replacing an O-ring and bolting it back together, and it's on there tight, and I did lubricate the O-rings, make sure they seated in there good. I can only think that something is over pressurizing it and causing it to cause issues. So that's what I'm facing here, and I'm not looking forward to getting to all those bolts, which I won't be trying to get to today because I was running the engine to try to warm up the oil, and it's gonna be hot, and I got other things to do. So let's move over to the Willys. Alright, here we are under the Willys, and as you can see, right there is the transfer case, which is directly bolted, like I talked about, to the transmission via, as you can see right there, where the light is pointing or touching pretty much there. And as you can see, much like the Cherokee, everything's well lubricated, which seems to be a theme with me. One of the interesting side effects to this leak is, as you can see right there, that is the parking brake, which on older vehicles is literally just a drum brake attached to the transfer case. And since it's rather well lubricated with transfer case fluid, it doesn't really work. It kind of holds it in place, which is actually impressive with how much lubrication it has. But I will have to fix all that. So it looks like the best way of taking that is I got 4 bolts to unbolt the half of the U-joint there that's attached to the parking brake. That looks like probably my easiest bet there. And then it looks like I gotta get to all those bolts that hold it into place. I'm not sure if that's just a cross brace there in between the kind of step there. That little cylinder. Looks like it's a cross brace slash linkage bracket. So I'll have to take apart all the linkages there and get a good look at them, because I'll have to remember how they attach. So and I'll probably take some pictures and everything and make sure I do a good job. I wonder how this, I'm interested to take apart this drum and see what it looks like with all the lubrication. I left it on for a little bit once when I drove because it doesn't have much resistance, and it's not like a normal thing you check compared to a normal car parking brake. Alright, and as you can see, this is one thing that kind of gives the Willys their notorious rough ride that they people say they have. I've only driven it short distances, so I haven't really felt it that much. I'm sure on a long journey it would be pretty brutal, but as you can see, I'm gonna find a place to hang my light here. Alright, there we go. You got 3, 6, 9 leaves for this tiny little vehicle. And that's because they used it for farm work. It did all kinds of crazy attachments. There's a trench digger and all these other really neat things, but I'll probably be switching over to the GoPro now because this camera battery is dying. So, but gives you a little idea of a rough ride that these things have. Alright, so switch to the other camera. Alright. Probably got a nice glare off my glasses here, but not sure how the film quality will be because this is a first generation GoPro, and anyone that's had a first generation GoPro knows that in low light situations they are absolute garbage. So it may be good footage, it's probably going to be worthless though. But I did the best I could. So
Being a vehicle from the 40s, it is designed for wrenches. Because you ain't getting a socket in here. Way too close. Really should have a magnetic tray for these, but that was preparation. Fun being that. Now, never doing this before. Huh. I should have realized that earlier, but in order to even pull this off from there, I am gonna have to take off the back off first. That makes a lot of sense. Not sure what I was thinking of, but and it's different size of wrench, which that was 9/16 for myself if I watch this back. Alright, well, let's get the next wrench. Alright. I guess goes 1/2 inch. It looks like I guessed right. That was actually a lot easier than I was expecting. Pull the top from the hammer. Comes right out. Alright. Alright, a little pull from there. Alright, and then ah, well, I can catch it. Oh, I should have checked that. I'm pulling the drive shaft out. Gonna come out with the oil. That's awfully green. Oh, like oil. Actually, could be smart about this. Now I got 2 inch relish. There we go. See how you work. Huh. See, you can see that. It's just got clearance for the little capture nut there. I don't know how I'm getting so much trouble there, but got it off. So, that is rear drive shaft down onto the front. I guess I should clean my hands before I turn off the GoPro.
Alright, welcome to a little post-commentary. I'm going over a little bit of talking about how I'm going to remove the front drive shaft. Unfortunately, my GoPro battery ran out. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the what I'm going to do next time, because this was just kind of thrown together because I figured, screw it, I'm going to work on them, I'm going to record it. So I think next time I'm going to definitely work on a little better lighting. As you can tell from the video, the lighting was not ideal, especially when I switched to the GoPro. And I'm also going to see if I can scrounge together a better camera for doing the other bits where I'm not in there. So I'll probably find a floor light or something, just get a little better lighting, and maybe try to figure out a different way of recording it, because I'm not a huge fan of recording myself doing the work. I'd prefer if I had something similar to what Cone does with like the head cam, but it doesn't really bother me too much to have record myself. I just look a bit derpy when I'm thinking and doing things, but whatever. So I want to thank you for watching this first video. These will probably be spread out really far between, kind of just when I can throw them together, when they get done, and I hope you enjoy them. So thank you very much for watching.